Urban Artificial Intelligence, Strategic Thinking Media Platform. Joe Budden crashing out on Drake, man. This how he really feel. He giving it up. He pieing. This how he feel about Drake. And if you listen to his podcast, if you know his history with Drake, no matter how many times they fake pieced it up, no matter how many times they got on FaceTime, these two dudes don't like each other. That's why Joe Budden is going so hard, man. Joe Budden is being organic. He being real. And he's glad Drake's career is over. Or at least that's the narrative that he's trying to push. Look, man, Drake has done a lot. It's nobody that can say definitively if his career is over or not. Joe Budden believe it is. A lot of fans believe it is. You know what I'm saying? Do I think it's over? No, not yet. I don't think what's going on with Kendrick Lamar and what's going on with this lawsuit, which we're going to get into, I don't think that can erase 10 to 15 years of high quality music. I just don't think it's possible. I think more things, more serious issues will have to happen. I don't think a rapper could end Drake's career. But this is what Joe Budden got to say about that. That's what we're going to talk about today. Now, this is a strategic thinking media platform, so we got to look at both sides, all right? Now, Milagros is a blogger who has some beef with Joe. At the end of this video, I'm going to play how she feels. She feels a little bit different, and I'm not going to lie. She gives a pretty good explanation to why she feels the way she does. But first, let's get into Joe Budden crashing out. Now, it's two angles that Joe and a lot of other people are going at, all right? Number one is that Drake is not as hot as he's been. None of his music is landing. Nothing is hitting. He's not pulling out the bangers back to back how he was before. His music is drying up. Joe Budden basically is saying, hey, you lost leverage. You took the money. You took the 200 M's, the 300 M's, 400 M's, whatever they gave you. You took the money. You didn't leverage any negotiations as far as the masters or your publishing, or you didn't want any ownership in the companies. All right, you're just now wanting these things on the back end when you're not hot, and that's technically too late. Now, the second thing that they saying is his attitude towards people. Now, these are the main two things that Joe Budden is going to talk about, and I'm going to play the clips in a minute. But the first was taking the money from the labels and the streaming services, not trying to negotiate for any type of ownership. He's just taking money. Now that they don't need him anymore, he's not as hot, they can do what they want. The second thing, Joe Budden said Drake has just been an asshole to people, all right? He hasn't been nice to people. Now that he needs help and he needs people to be in his corner, they not there. DJ Academics got on the live a couple of days ago. He was speaking about how this happened in the music industry, and I've heard things like this happen as well. When people come into the music industry and they hot and they're selling a lot of records and everybody loves them, they can kind of act how they want to act. They can be mean, they can be rude, they can shit on people. Now, all this is good and well until the artists need the labels or the artists need something or the artists not hot as they used to be. Okay, when you're not bringing in the money, when you're not bringing in the listens and the spins that you used to be, things change. This is what's happening with Drake. The people who he didn't fuck with, the people who didn't like him, they weren't in a rush to try to come to his aid, all right? They kind of wanted him to phase out. They was getting tired of him being on top as well, and that's just another part of the music industry. He also talking about Drake fucking people, baby mamas. That's something that's completely different. I think Joe is a little upset because Drake fucked his baby mama. That's a personal issue that they have, but I don't know. Joe Budden knows more about the industry than I do. Maybe that did play a part in some of these behind the scenes things. You never know. Now, the first clip that we're going to get into, Joe Budden is basically saying Drake gave his leverage away. He basically traded his leverage for money, you know what I'm saying, with the labels, with the streaming platforms. They gave him the money. He continued to produce classics that he didn't own. He continued to produce high quality music that they have the majority of the equity in. So they don't need him anymore once he's not as hot. Let's take a look at that clip here.
In front of me. Joe Schmo has a chance already. That's why he lost the leverage. He was supposed to be the leader of the new school. Shout out to Busta Rhymes. He was supposed to be the person to, on a much smaller level again, not to talk about me. When I go in these places, that's the only time to get scared.
All right, now I can't disagree with that, man. That was pretty much on point. I agree with everything that he's saying right there in that clip, man. For the most part, that's basically how the game goes, man. That's how the music industry goes now. The second clip that we about to listen to, Joe Budden going in, and he's talking about how streaming was built on Drake's back. The whole streaming setup, the structure of streaming. When this system was being implemented, Drake was the hottest rapper. Drake was the hottest artist. All right, when this streaming revolution started, so the structure that we see, the monthly subscriptions that these tech companies have, Drake is one of the main artists that kind of ushered that in. People are used to paying $10 a month now, all right, to listen to all the music that they want. So these streaming platforms, they don't need artists to try to drop exclusives or to promote as aggressively. We already know we're going to spend $10 a month on Apple Music. That's not a new thing anymore. People don't need to be convinced to do that. Maybe 10 years, 12 years, 15, 16 years ago you did. Not anymore. You understand what Spotify is. You understand what Apple Music is. You know that your top artists that you like, that you listen to, are going to be on Apple eventually. They're going to be on Spotify eventually. So there's really no incentives in paying somebody like Drake $600-700 million. The growth potential is not how it was in the past for these streaming sites. So the streaming structure is built, and it's like, hey, Drake, this is what we got for you. We got 200 mil, we got 300 mil, we got 450 mil. If you don't like that, then bye. We don't need you anymore. We've already built the structure of the streaming services. We already have hundreds of millions of paid monthly subscribers and customers. We don't need the services anymore.
Just publishing. I'm trying to go buy something that makes my conversation when I walk in this office with Lucien or whoever go a little bit different. They don't care about nothing that he built his house on, which is, I got all the hits, I got the number ones, I have the run, my album. Yo, we made that. And your best music, we gonna run that up. Go make your mid. Go make your mid. We gonna put all them albums that we own, your fire shit, that same little algorithm trick you think we doing, we still doing it.
Deluxe.
Yeah,
5-year anniversary,
we got you.
anniversary,
Hey, have a
20-year
blast
anniversary.
with whatever Honestly Nevermind did. Have fun with that. The label must ain't been too thrilled because that shit came and went too. At some point, you got to have something that stay, and they not going to let nothing stay. What do you think is going to happen with the Drake Party Next Door album now that he's got these suits out? That's what I mean about him. That's what I mean about him. Party somewhere thinking that this is the best opportunity that ever happened to me. Wow, thank God this is happening. Nigga, that should have happened in 2014 right after, if you reading this, it's too late. Right after that, that's when that should have happened. Now, it's too late, and you only doing it, again, for your selfish, greedy fucking reasons. That ain't about to help him. That's about to hurt him. Now it's about to get to a point, anybody that stand with Drake, the high-ups is just looking. Stand there if you want. It's over. They sending a clear-cut message. Yo, it's over. And Drake knows it, so I'm not arguing with nobody now. These suits say he knows what time it is.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
So he's just going out snitching, basically.
Now, he said something else important in that clip. He also spoke about how the artists who stand next to Drake, the artists who like Drake, who collab with Drake, they gonna get it too, all right? The big wigs, the label owners are gonna be looking to stick it to them too. If you drop albums with Drake, if you do any projects with Drake, they're gonna get froze out. They're not gonna get the looks that they used to get. They're not gonna get the attention that they used to get. They're not gonna get the push that they used to get. So it's basically an all-out war between Drake and the labels. Joe Budden looks like he's enjoying this. If I'm being 100% honest, it looks like he's enjoying the demise and the downfall of Drake, and it is interesting to watch how Joe Budden is reacting to this, man. It seems like this is a day that he's been waiting for. It's a day that he couldn't wait to happen. He's been behind the scenes and he's been seeing what people think, how people feel about Drake, and he seems like he's glad this is happening. Now, the next video that we about to get into, Joe about to just completely crash out, man. He gonna bring up how he's white, how he's Jewish, how he done had inappropriate relationships with rappers' wives and girlfriends. He spoke on that multiple times. He's gonna bring up, he kind of spilled the beans here. Now, I don't know if everybody's saying what he said word for word, but that's kind of the gist of it. Now, academics didn't say this. Academics didn't give a lot of details about what the conversation was between Metro and Drake, but he said it wasn't about a girl, it wasn't about money, and it really didn't have anything to do with music. So, and we know that was a tragic thing that Metro went through with his mother's passing. Around that time is when him and Drake fell out. So the timeline is right. If you believe what Joe Budden said here, and I do, I personally believe that's what it was. if you believe that that timeline is correct, that does line up with what Joe Budden is saying about Drake saying, "Hey, I don't care what's going on with you and your family business. I need some beats."
Or he don't own a league and he's taking a check. I think that, again, until you face some level of adverse situations, that's when your brain changes and you got to think around it and circumvent it.
I feel that. I was thinking specifically.
This is his first time facing adversity in 15 years. And so now we see what he's doing at the face of adversity.
Or he's a selfish, lying, manipulative sack of shit who has made enemies for 15 years, and now we're here at the fucking boiling point.
They both could be true.
You've been behind the scenes being the biggest sack of shit you can possibly be. I'm not here to fucking play games with you niggas. Niggas know what it is out there. That's it. And he's fucking white. And he's Jewish. And he had too much dip on his chip. You have been behind the scenes, hitting niggas' baby moms, sending money to niggas' baby. Yo, dog, you been back and sending messages to this nigga's wife, talking shit about fucking, hey, but this nigga's mom died. Hey, all that's cool, but where my beat at, nigga? I don't give a fuck that your mom died. Dog, this nigga's been a sack of shit behind the scenes, and because he got fans and had Lucien, everybody just get to turn a blind eye. The blind eye days are done. That's done with now. I don't want to hear none of that shit now. Now, we've seen the hand, you've seen their hand. What's it going to be, and what are you going to do? That's what it is.
Well, he's showing you.
He's showing you who he is. I came in here and asked y'all. It was the last Drake single that really popped off. I know that everybody just think I'm a hater, but I'm a student of this shit. And to be that, you got to look at what's going on with Drake.
All right, now that was crazy, man. Joe Budden absolutely going in on Drake. Joe Budden 100% believes Drake's career is over. I don't think he would be going as far if he didn't believe it. He feels like the record labels have said fuck Drake. UMG has said fuck Drake. All the DSPs have said fuck Drake. So if the record labels and the DSPs both say fuck you, it's going to be hard for you to be successful with your new music, all right? They also was talking about how the label owns all his best music. He's just not in a good space right now optically. Now, this is just the optics. This is just what we seeing. If his lawyers and his team of lawyers and his team of defense have some things against the record label that we don't know, then we're going to see that later. But the optics of this is not looking good. It's looking like Drake is building more and more powerful enemies with every day after this Kendrick battle, and the timing of it is absolutely terrible. For this lawsuit to come at a time like this, of course, even if it's not the case, of course, everybody's going to say he's suing because Not Like Us was so successful, when that may not be the case. But because of the timing, that's what it's going to look like to everybody. Now, the last video we're going to get to is Milagros. She kind of is going to defend Drake as far as the defamation lawsuit against Kendrick with the Not Like Us, with the whole PDF file predator thing. Let's get into that clip now.
Joe Budden, when there was a lawsuit that alleged that you was fucking with a dog, we watched you almost stroke out on your podcast. Did we or did we not? On what planet should Drake be okay with someone going on a national fucking platform and calling him a pedophile? If he didn't want that to happen, what's the problem with that? There is nothing wrong with someone standing up and saying, I don't want to be called a pedophile. If you ain't gonna fight for nothing else in this motherfucking world, I hope you gonna stand up and say, I would never touch a child like that. I pray to God you would. Y'all were upset when Drake did. Do y'all remember during the battle when these hoes said, is this Drake's response to being called a pedophile? This all he got? Nigga, that's your defense? That's weak. Now the nigga standing up saying, stop fucking playing with me. He filing paperwork for defamation saying, you can't put that jacket on my back. Now y'all sitting up here saying he a bitch for it. So he was a bitch when he didn't say anything, and when y'all felt like that made it true. But now that he's standing up for it, oh, he a white boy, look at what he running to go do. But y'all are only going to say that if the person is not fully black? Because Joe Budden was happy, I got a lawsuit, right?
Now, I like this explanation, man, because Joe Budden definitely was kind of scaring people into thinking he may sue them for the things that he said about the dog. And there was other things that Joe Budden has said where he kind of threatened to sue bloggers as well. So I don't know, man. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that. What do y'all think about this whole situation? And what do y'all think about what Milagros is saying? She's a blogger who covered the Meg and Tory trial very closely. Megan Thee Stallion is accusing her of slander, and she's trying to sue her. So Milagros is somebody who is in the media space. She has been threatened to be sued by somebody, and she's fighting in her mind what's the good fight for the press and for the new media outlets, which is YouTube, social media, and things of that nature. And she's an intelligent person. She's got a good point of view about a lot of things. She break things down as well. So I'm kind of curious to see where this is going to go. Is Joe Budden going to reply back to her? Is he going to say anything to her? I'm not sure, man. But y'all get in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about this. Joe Budden is convinced that it's over with for Drake, man. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's over with for Drake? Can he come back from this? Urban Artificial Intelligence, Strategic Thinking Media Platform. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace.